So that morning, normal morning, getting up, getting ready for work, and I received a phone call from one of my fire officers. He said, hey, the house around the corner with the pillars, it's really rolling. There's fire blowing out of the rear of the house and the roof. I walked out of my house, turned around, looked over the roof line of my house, and the sky was dark over in that corner.
Our phones all went off. My boss, Barry, he looked at his phone. He said, we're getting a fire.
I remember it was plain as day. It was 6:22. All of our phones went off. I told Brian and Christian, I said, grab your gear. We got to go to this.
So we looked at each other without hesitation. Everybody ran to their personal vehicles, grabbed their gear. And the only gear that we had was actually just a structural suit.
When I pulled in the driveway, it was a bi-level home. There was abundant amount of fire coming from the right rear corner of the house. The caller was inside of the house and stated he had two elderly parents that he was trying to get out.
As we were going, we got confirmation with entrapment that there was somebody on the other line with 911. Then and there, we knew we had to step it up.
Pulled into the front yard, very large front yard. A lot of fire from the roof. Smoke all over the place.
I went to the front door of the house, kind of evaluated everything, didn't hear anything, but I did notice the house was basically breathing. You could see the windows kind of flex in, flex out. The siding, you could hear it kind of crackle, and just the whole structure was moving a little bit, which tells me one of two things. It is starving for oxygen, or there's so much pressure inside, it needs an outlet. I just told my guys, we can't open this door. Within 10 seconds of that, coming out of my mouth, the front windows blew out.
I heard a loud bang. That was the front window getting sucked in, and the garage door actually exploded and blew out.
So at that point, I know I turned to somebody and I said, now's our chance.
I remember thinking in the back of my head, I'm like, all that we have is our turnout gear. You know, we have no fire truck, we have no air packs, but we knew that we had to go in and try to do something.
Once we were inside, we were met with heavy smoke. We had to crawl inside just to look for the first victim.
You could see maybe a foot from the floor to where the smoke level was. In a matter of a second, it went to no visibility and very high heat.
We had our hood on, our helmets on, but our faces were fully exposed.
You could feel the heat right above you from the flames just rolling over the ceilings.
I'm looking pretty much eye level into the kitchen, and I saw a leg, and I said, there's somebody right there, we gotta try to get him.
I remember it plain as day. It's one of those images that's never going to leave me. His phone was facing up, still connected to 911. You could see the glow of the phone.
Him and I basically pulled the guy down the steps, got him onto the front patio, and he was unconscious at that point. We realized there were still two people in there.
Engine 7 from Birdsboro Fire Department showed up. We jumped in the back and grabbed our air packs. Two of their guys went in with the line, while the three of us, myself, Barry, and Christian, went back in.
I went down the hallway, maybe 15 feet or so.
Then he stated that, hey, I need your light. As soon as I turned on the light, I was met with a body part of the second victim. A couple feet away from the second victim, I found the third victim.
They went in and were able to pull the other two individuals from the far bedroom. Both came out of the house, were transferred to EMS. Unfortunately, the first two were deceased basically upon arrival at the hospital.
Once I stepped outside with the victim, that's when I started having a hard time breathing.
I kind of collapsed with her. Didn't really know the extent of my conditions. We were checked out by EMS. They were hustling, bustling around us. I didn't quite understand why.
All these guys that know me were coming up. Brian, are you okay? It finally hit me that I wasn't good.
The other three guys that were with me, they all ended up being transported to hospitals. Two ended up being moved up to Lehigh, the burn center.
They were just looking over me and checking and watching my vitals and all that. The next day they said, everything looks great.
All I know is I was in the trauma bay. That's the last I remember. The next day I woke up, I was in Lehigh Valley, and they said that you were just taken off a ventilator.
My airway can possibly close. They see it inflamed. They wanted to take a precaution and put me in a ventilator, and ended up waking up in Lehigh Valley.
Not knowing what my other colleagues were going through. I was a wreck for a while.
You know, the three of us worked together. You know, we've been together for a long time.
Our main goal is to get there as fast as we can. And if there is life and property to save, we're gonna make every attempt possible to do so. In that moment, you don't think about yourself. You don't think about what could happen to you. You process that later. We all talked. We said, were we dumb for doing that? going in there like that.
Did we do the right thing? Absolutely. There's an old saying, you risk a lot to save a lot.